Greetings. Welcome to Learning Java Together with I. I have a confession to make. I'm struggling. And let me explain. The way I did my tic-tac-toe was not object-oriented programming. It was just like procedural. I was just saying, do this, then do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. But what we need to do is encapsulate things in objects and classes so that, one, it's easier to read and edit in case I want to change something or someone else wants to look at the code. And two, we need to change our mindset to organize things differently. I went on ChatGPT and I was like, because I love cooking, and I was like, can you explain this to me in kitchen cooking terms? But it helped me grasp this concept that I can now learn to become better at programming. So I just want to go through it real quick. Here's ChatGPT. Here's my prompt. Can you explain the fundamentals of OOP in Java using culinary terms? And here's what I got. Classes, recipes. Brilliant. How to make spaghetti. This is huge. Attributes and variables was confusing the shit out of me. Is an object. It's not an attribute. It's not a variable. I was confusing that with variables. The classes are like recipes. The objects are like dishes. So you can use a recipe to make many different dishes. Which is like making multiple objects. And that's why we're using constructors. A constructor is like taking your recipe and making a dish right there. But you can change the ingredients of that dish. Then we have encapsulation. This one was important. This was tripping me up because it talks about getters and setters. And I'm like, I need a use case. Why are we keeping the information private? And why don't you just let the main method access that? And this kind of explained why. You're putting it in a sealed container to keep it good. And then getter and setter would be if you're the head chef of your kitchen, you would send your sous chef to go get that ingredient that you need in the sealed container. So you'd be like, sous chef, go get this romesco for me. He's going to go get it and bring it back to you. And you choose when. If you're like, oh, I need this now, you choose get the secret sauce. And that's the thing, because a main method would read this. If this was public string secret sauce, the main method would just get it at its own will. But the getter, it just lets you do it at a specific time. You can say, get this now. And that's really important. I was not understanding that. And then setters would be go put this secret sauce back. Or you change the sauce and you're like, okay, this is now pesto. Go put it back. I like that. Inheritance, I haven't really learned inheritance yet, but now I kind of get it. You don't have to say dough and bake. You can just say add the toppings. Dough and bake is already in here. That'll be useful. I know that'll be useful. Polymorphism, I don't get that yet, just because I haven't learned it. And then abstraction, that's kind of what we're doing with the tic-tac-toe. I'm going to go back to the tic-tac-toe and make it object. I just wanted to go through this because this is how I learn. It's like that scene in Kung Fu Panda where the mouse teacher, Shifu, he can't teach Po anything because he's not relating to Po's motivations, which is food. So he's like a food-motivated person, and Shifu had to realize that with the almond cookies, and he was like, this is how I'm going to teach it to him, and it's going to put it into something he can grasp. And then he became the Dragon Warrior. So this is kind of like that. And literally, it's food related. But yeah, today we're going to do getters and setters. Let's do the demo.
C4, I'm the master, I'm the dragon and the teacher, and I carry Christ's passion, let it blast through the speakers. Welcome back, YouTube. Welcome to another fantastic Java coding demonstration by yours truly, Jacob J. Kennedy. Today we are going to be doing a little coding challenge with this database. Now let me just walk through the database real quick and then what we're going to do with it. So here's our main method. I will come back to this line of code. We have our customer class. This has a constructor that builds up our customer. Everything is private. We're going to be getting it with getters and maybe using a setter, maybe not. This just has a bunch of, getter, setter, override, toString so that we can read everything. As you can see here, we reference another class. This is the address class. It holds all the addresses, and all of that is important because we have another class, another recipe, if you will. It's got all this juicy data about people. We got names, emails, the aforementioned addresses, and we also have some keywords. And these are important. Like, let's say you hypothetically had a album sharing website that shares music on Fridays, and you have everyone's account info and genres of music that they like, and needed to query how many genres there are, or like what the most popular genre is. You have this database, and what we're going to do is we're going to make lists that is going to fetch the data and bring it to us, which takes us back to here. We made an array list. We're running the customer class through it because we want to produce this information, like first name, last name, email, paid user, keywords. So we're running that through this array list, and we're creating a new list called list. And equals customer factory get. That's just like where we're getting the info. So we're creating a list, getting the info from here, passing it in this array. I think, okay, I'm trying to understand it. The customer is like the format that this array list is gathering the information for our list. I hope you understand. So first challenge we're going to do, we are going to do a for loop, and we're going to find all of the J names in this customer factory, and there's like 30 names here. We're going to parse through it and get all of the names that have a J in it. Now, forewarning, there are nulls sprinkled in here, and a null, if you're pulling a list, will fuck everything up. You'll get the null pointer exemption error. So we're also going to have to account for that when we do our for loop. So let's begin. We only want the J names, so we're actually going to make another list. This is going to be an array list. And the data type we are going to be passing through is a string. And we're going to call this JNames. New array list. I guess this is an array list right here. So we're just doing a brand new one. I wish I could explain that better, but you have to do this. Syntax, Java. We're going to do a for loop. This is important. We're going to use this in... We're doing 3 challenges today. We're going to use this in every challenge. And this is really crucial to understand. We're going to do customer C. That's just a variable. It could be anything. Customer X. I'm doing C because customer C is the first letter. For the for loop, remember we use the semicolon instead of equals. And basically what this is for each of the customers, because we're getting the customers' J names. For every customer, we call them C. In this list, for every customer in this list is what we're iterating on. So like, we're passing through. I feel like that's the biggest thing in Java to understand, is like passing things through other things. So for every customer of this list, that's what that means. If, and the first thing we're going to do is we don't want any nulls because nulls will ruin it. We're going to do C dot operator, get the first names. So for every get first, so it's going to get every name from C when it runs through the loop. It's going to get all the names from C. And we don't want null. So we're using the exclamation point, which means anti-null, anti equals null. For every get first name that is not null, we want something to happen, okay? That's not the only thing though, because we're looking for J names. So everything that's not null, we need a J name. C dot, we're going to use that again, get first name, dot contains, and you put a string here, capital J. We also want lowercase j, so we're going to have to do this again. However, we're going to use or. So it has to be not null and has a j, or a lowercase j, either j. So and or are going to be used here. If that happens, we're going to do j names. It's the new list that we're creating. So we want, if it meets these conditions, it's not null and it contains a j or a lower j, we want to add it to the j names list. So we're going to do jnames.add C, right? C.get first name, because we just want the first names. If we did C, it would be like, it would go through the whole list and it would give us all of the J's, but we only want the first name. You want the print line statement to be outside of that loop, or else it's going to print every single iteration of the loop. So you're going to get like 30 different prints. So find out where the end of your for loop is, and that is where you would like to add your print line. J names with J. Space. We're going to add J names. And let's also do another print line. Count. Make sure it's a string. And this is just to make it more legible. And we're also going to pull J names dot size. And you can do these with lists, array lists. You get all these little operators that let you pull up information about them. So hopefully this will give us all the J names and how many there are in this customer factory database that we created. Error. Get first name, I forgot to put dot contains, and that was tripping up everything. We run it and we get the first names. And we get 9 first names. All right, next challenge. All right, challenge number 2 is we're going to do a hash set. So we're going to create a set which is like an array list. However, the big difference here is a hash set does not allow duplicates. So if you wanted just only unique things like the genre, let's say you wanted to pull all of the genres that people like in your app. This would only do one of each genre so that you don't have like a zillion different results. So we're going to start with a set, and this is you got to import some Java code for this. So set, what goes inside the set? A string. We're doing a lot of strings here. And the set we'll call keywords. So the keywords, it's the juicy data that we're about to reap. All right, keywords equals new hash set. And the hash set is that special list that doesn't allow duplicates. We're going to do another for loop to iterate and, get the sweet data that we're looking for. So we're going to do the same thing, customer, and we're not going to second guess ourselves, list. So we're iterating through this list, and what are we going to do? If we want to get rid of nulls, we don't want any null, if c dot get liked keywords, if it's not null, do something. What are we going to have it do? Well, we're going to have it get the liked keywords. And this is where the syntax comes in of a hash set. We're going to do get, what is it? No. So for each liked keyword, and it wants us to put a data type in here. For each liked keyword, it's going to be a string, and we'll call this string item. For each item, lambda curly brace to contain this. This syntax is crazy. This makes me wonder why people use Java, because there's so much going on here. Because we have it in a parenthesis and a curly brace within the parenthesis. It's just, I don't know. It is what it is. So for each item, so we're learning like what is happening. So if it's not null, get the liked keyword. For each of those liked keywords, turn it into an item, a string, and we want to add it to our hash set. So keywords add, the name of the hash set is keywords. So keywords, our hash set, dot add item. And then this is so confusing. Okay, this parenthesis is still open, and you would want to put it inside the curly brace, but we're actually going to do it outside the curly brace. And don't forget your semicolon. Okay, so let's set up a print line and then just one final go through. No, my cat, get out of here. Line, and we want to print keywords. Run it, see what happens. Okay, see, no errors this time. And that's because we meticulously got the syntax of this super confusing hash set down. So we have gaming, drinking, sports, planes, football, yada yada. That is the challenge. We got the individual keywords from this, and there's no repeats. So on to number 3. We're going to get rid of our hash set because we don't need it anymore. So we're going to establish an int, and we're going to call this counter. And this is just going to give us a number. That's what the other ones we were producing a string or a list. We just want a number for this one. If, same deal, except we're getting the keywords. C.get listed keywords does not equal null. Well, we already established it. We're gonna use the counter. Counter equals counter plus C.get liked keywords dot size. So dot size will give us what is happening here. If it's not null, add it to the counter. Right? We want the size of the entire list plus list dot size. And finally, we want to know the average amount of keywords per user. And this is going to be, we want to keep all of the, since we're doing math, we would like to do division with doubles. So we're going to do double. This is like casting a data type on another one. So we're changing the int to a double just in the print line. Counter, double counter, divided by list.size. So we're taking the count of keywords, dividing it by the total list size, and this would tell you how much the average is. And we have not a statement. What happened? You need 2 parentheses? It's always parentheses and curly braces. Okay, 67 total keywords. The list size is 50. So there's 1.34 per person. That is today's lesson. We learned about getters and iterating lists. Hopefully we'll have some more fun projects once I figure them out.